Hi everyone, today I want to share how to make this cute little box. Well, it's like a bag in a box is what I think it's called. The technical term for this little gift type treat holder is bag in a box or box in a bag. I'm not sure which one. I've heard it both ways. So this one is super simple and it's really useful to know how to make. And in the past I've made it in so many sizes. I'm going to kind of show you how I go about figuring out what size I want to make. We did this at Stamp Camp. I love this lemon paper, and I was thinking of lemon Kit Kats. If you've ever had lemon Kit Kats, they come out in the spring right around Easter time, and they're delicious, I think. But I didn't see them anymore now that we're almost into fall, and so I had to go with lemon heads, and I bought this box of lemon heads. And there were 24 in here, and I set aside 12 for Stamp Camp plus the one in my sample. There was one left over. What happened to the rest of my lemon heads? My children. So they ate like, what is that, 11 boxes of lemon heads. Okay, anyway, here we go. So I do have this one left so I can show you how to make it. And I really wanted to, I like to, usually I make these square. In fact, I think I've always made them square. I found a few, and I have like a bin of old 3D type projects, and this is one I found in the bin. It's really old, this paper. I don't remember the name of it, but you can see I made a square. I think that's like a 3-inch square. And then I've made tiny ones. This one I actually got from my Stampy friend Julia. So cute. I never made one this small before, and she gave us these and I thought they were adorable, and I like how she has the hook. So this is cute, and you can make any size in between. So I thought, can I make it not square? Yes, of course I can. So I measured my box. So you can do this with anything. You just need to kind of look at the size of your box. And so I decided to go with 2 inches. It's a little bit smaller than 2 inches. That way it'll have a little bit of space. And then of course this is like, what is that, like 3/4 of an inch wide. So I went with 2 by 1. And you can do it like maybe you're gonna put a little treat for a customer and you're gonna give them some glue. So you can kind of measure. This one I would have probably done 1.5 by 1.5, something like that, and made a square. So whatever you have on your, that you want to make a treat box for, you can. And then you need to get your height. So this, this is about 5. Oh, I'm lying to you. It's I don't know why I thought this was 6 inches. I forgot that I made these 4 inches. So this is like just about 3 inches. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 1 inch by 2 inch by 3 inch. And that's how I figured it out, which was perfect because then with designer series paper, you know, it comes in a 12-inch piece, and I was able to cut it into strips 4 inches. So I was able to get 6 of these treat holders out of 1 sheet of designer series paper. So here's the designer series paper, and I cut it 6 inches across by 4. Is that what I did? Yes, it is. 6 by 4. And then for the base, the box part, so this one I cut at 2 by 3. So I needed 2 inches and 1 inch, so I made it an inch bigger all the way around. So I needed 1 inch by 2 inch, and then to make flaps, I added an inch so that I could score 1/2 of an inch all the way around. So whatever size you decide your item that you're going to wrap is, figure that out and then add an inch so that you can score 1/2 an inch all the way around. And that way the base is that 1 inch by 2 inch. Okay, hopefully that made sense. And that is how I figured it out. And I've done this for, you know, any other odd little treats. So that's your base of your bag in a box. This is the simplest thing. All right, so now all you have to do is grab, now you can go ahead and attach these little flaps to your box and close it up if you so choose, but you don't have to with this particular box. You could cut these tabs off to make your life easier if you want, or you can just go right over them, which is what I do. So I like to have my tear tape in my hand, and then you're going to wrap around the box, and as you're doing it, it's going to close up the box. So that's why I don't bother taping it shut. So I'm going to go and add this tear tape around, and I'm going to go all the way around the box, closing it up, closing up those flaps as I go. All the way around, all the way around. Okay. So now I've got my base of my box. Now one thing you should know is obviously you need to have the designer series paper go all the way around. So remember, this was 2 inches, so that's 2, and then one more, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you wanted to have your designer series paper go all the way around, just know that there's always going to be, even though technically this is 6 inches, if I was to wrap it around, even if I was super tight to the corners, there's always going to be that little fraction of a bit that's too doesn't want to meet in the middle. So I always try to have an extra 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 inch of designer series paper. But when I saw that I could cut and make 6 out of this, if I got it super tight, I wanted to do that because I have 12 people at Stamp Camp, and that way I was able to use 2 sets. Actually I only had 11, but I needed 1 for my sample. I was able to cut 12 treat holders out of 2 sheets of designer series paper. So then I thought, oh, but that's such a bummer because there's going to be a seam and it's not going to close all the way, and that's going to irritate me. But that's okay, because that's when I remembered in the past I had done this. With an extra sheet of contrasting designer series paper, you can actually add, and when I made this one many years ago, it actually does meet at the bottom because I cut the paper bigger. But I forget what I put in here, but it was going to be like, it was a lot. And even though this base was smaller, I think it was lotions, so the bases are smaller, and you know how like lotion packages, they kind of splay out. It was something like that. And so I needed a little bit more room on the inside of the bag than I wanted the bottom to be. So I intentionally flayed this out. So it actually overlaps down here, the paper. But then when it comes, actually maybe I just untie it. When I put it together, I intentionally kind of splayed it out as I went up, just to give myself a little bit more space. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but so this paper looks like it's going straight up. These stripes look like they're straight, but actually it's kind of coming up in a V. And then this piece of contrasting paper kind of ties it all together. And that's what we're going to do here. I didn't really need the width, but I just needed that little bit of contrast to cover up the seam. And then it doesn't have a seam at all. It's just kind of really cute. Okay, so you've got this. You've got your designer series paper cut to the size that you want. And so what you need to do is start in a center so that when you have that seam area for the contrasting paper, you don't have it on an end like this. You want it right in the middle. So I'm going to remove the backing to my tear tape. Okay, and then I'm going to start in the middle. I don't think there's an up or down. First I thought, well, maybe maybe they're going this way. Okay, so you're going to start in the center of the area that you want your front to be. So if you want your front to be this long side or this side, or if it's a square, then it's easy. Go in the center, and then you're going to wrap around your base. Just go all the way around. And when you get to a corner, just kind of pinch it a little bit so it fits the corner. And wrap around. And one more. And then we're back at the front. So, see, like I said, even though technically this is 2 by 1 by 2 by 1, 6 inches should have fit because of those corners and just the little give and take from folding. It doesn't fit. And how irritating, right? That's okay. Oops, so you want to not do that. Okay, so now I've got this, and I've grabbed this piece of contrast. It's the same paper pack, the same designer series paper pack. Now I'm using the one with the oranges on there, so if you have orange candy, you could use that. My husband loves orange slices, so I could find some of those. You're going to put that on there. So all we need to do is add some tear tape, and I already did that for Stamp Camp just because sometimes when there's a lot of people, things take a long time. So sometimes I do some of these things ahead of time. Okay, so not everybody's waiting around for that tear tape. Now, if you want it flayed out, you can intentionally kind of pull these apart. I don't really need that with my lemon heads, so they can go straight. Now I'm gonna, even though this is slightly off to the side, I want my Designer Series paper, contrasting paper, to be right in the middle. So I'm gonna go like that. I'm gonna find the middle, just eyeballing it. And I'm going to lay that down right on top. And now I've got this really cute little contrasting stripe. And I can put my lemon heads, but first I need to punch a hole. Who remembers this giant thing? Crocodile. I hadn't thought of it in a while, and I needed a hole punch for another project where I was going through like 3 pieces of cardstock, and it worked like a charm. Probably a regular hole punch would have done this paper because it's Designer Series paper is a little thinner than cardstock. Okay, so we've got our hole. We can throw our lemon heads in, and now you're just decorating. So for Stamp Camp, I brought out the tailor-made tags dies, which I love. I think they're still available. I should check into that. But it's a set of tags and these little circles that kind of finish them off. And I went with the second smallest. There are 8 different tags and 2 different styles of stoppers. Really cute. And I'm going to glue that on. And just adding this little bit of color up there just makes it look a little fancier. And then the stamp set is Citrus Blooms. Now the stamp set is all about the oranges. The paper has the has the lemons in it, but the stamp set is all about the oranges. That's all right. I just wanted a couple flowers to act as an accent. So I'm going to use all the love and then these 2 little flowers. Scrap paper there. And I intentionally did this on an angle going up because I'm going to put flowers on either side. You can do straight. I did it straight on that one, on my sample at Stamp Camp. Okay, and I'm just going to use some markers to color those in. This is Lemon Lolly, and these are Stampin' Blends, but this is such a tiny little flower. You could use colored pencil, regular markers, whatever you have. I'm going to add a little bit of a darker Lemon Lolly near the center, just because why not? And this is Light Pumpkin Pie. Okay, now there are dies for these. So you could die cut them. When it's small like this, I feel like I could, by the time I could cut them out, I could line them up on my die cut machine and washi tape them so they don't move. By the time I do all that, I could have cut them out myself if it's a simple shape like this. So I tend to do that on these simple shapes. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and attach that. There we go, how cute. And now just ribbon. So ribbon is, you can do it many different ways. I went through both ends and just tied a bow at the top. You can also do a cute little loopy thing like Julia did. And I was looking through the ribbons and I happen to have some lemon lolly ribbon that's discontinued, but there's a lot of white ribbon that would look nice if you're still, or navy blue if you are looking for some ribbon colors. There is a real pretty white shimmer ribbon, but I thought I would use this lemon lolly since I have it. Sometimes look at the clearance. I don't think these are on the clearance rack, but this was on the clearance rack for a while, and I get some good ribbon deals on the clearance rack, so every once in a while be sure to check that out. Oh, I forgot to put this on. All right, let's go. Oh, you know what? Since I forgot, I'm going to show you this little trick. You might have in your medicine cabinet or somewhere, or you definitely have it at your grocery store, these little flossers. And this is for, I think this is for getting floss between braces or dentures or something where you need to thread the dental floss in between your dental work. And I don't need it for that, but you can use it. Like sometimes it's hard to stick a ribbon through a little hole. So if you put it through this little loop in the floss and pull, hopefully you can see that, it pulls it through the, did I do it upside down? I did. Look at me. All right. I want this. What am I doing? I want to pull from the back to the front is what I need to do. And I was going the wrong way. So I want to pull it through like that, and that way I get it through the hole. All right, it's easier than I just made it because I was being silly. All right. Now you can use your ribbon and go straight up and tie a bow with a little twine. I think this is long enough. I'm not sure. I might not have cut it long enough to go ahead and tie a bow, but I'm going to try. So if you ever need little teacher appreciation gifts, or if you're putting together little favors for an office conference, you can put one of these at everybody's little desk with some mints in it. You can use these for anything. You make them spooky for Halloween. It's just such a simple little box, and you can customize it so easily for whatever you're going to put inside. So that is my little lemon head box. I hope you liked it. Please give me a like and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching. Bye.